Shapes in the aura. What do they mean for you? Let's dive straight in. I assume you have an understanding of colors and their meanings, the zones of the aura, the layers, and have started a regular practice of viewing your aura, or the aura of others. Shapes and patterns are manifestations of energy. The fascinating thing with auric energy and shapes is they change, develop, disappear and reform constantly. While your main aura coloration and the dominant energy traits stay relatively stable and similar over your lifetime, the shapes do not. They are a direct reflection of the energetic situation you find yourself in at the very moment they are seen. Shapes tell us a story of the energy that is entering, the energy leaving, the emotive states, and the underlying truths. The formation of shapes is simply a build-up of energy. It is energy found in a localized area and is responsible for providing the energy behind our emotions. Heard the expression, butterflies in my stomach, for when nervous? Well, that fluttery, flicker of a feeling, in your stomach is a build-up of trepidation. And while, for those who can view the aura energies, it actually and rather disappointingly doesn't look like butterflies, it is an energy that can be seen, and it moves with the same kind of graceful sweeping you may expect from a butterfly. Hence the term. This is the same for all emotion. Each emotion is dominated by a certain type, or flavor of energy. This is how we know what anger is, it feels the same because it is an actual energy. This is how we feel surprise, sadness, joy, depression, anxiety. Each emotion draws a different type of energy, and each has its own physical feeling. So what can you expect to see? Energy bands. These bands are seen as circular colored energy bands, think halo. They indicate the person has very strong abilities, or powers of persuasion, typically used for leadership and faith. However, this energy can be used positively or negatively, base this on the coloration. Bright, vibrant and almost bordering on being transparent is positive. If it is solid coloration, is dark and intensely opaque, it indicates a negative mindset and it is likely that their influence will be used negatively. Star clusters. Star clusters are very intense concentrations of colorful sparking groups of energy. They can occur anywhere in the aura. These star clusters always relate to the person's need for empowerment. Use the color and location to discover specifics. For example, I recently saw electric blue clusters around the forehead and throat of a client. I spoke to her about this and said I believed she was having issues with communication. The throat, plus blue is throat chakra energy and indicates communication. However, I felt the only person who was placing limitations on her was herself. This is seen by the electric blue clusters also being seen at the forehead. This cluster location shows colors of communication and that's not expected at the third eye. But it makes sense in her case, the location is because there was a constant internal dialogue, and over-talking, happening in her mind. She was so convinced that no one would want to hear what she had to say that she created an ongoing dialogue, designed to protect, but was blocking her. It had become a mantra that repeatedly told her not to talk, and to be quiet. And this internal communication meant she couldn't see her reality, because her inner talk was preventing it. In this situation she had to empower herself by speaking up and allowing herself to be heard. Other clusters aren't as complex. You may see red sparks at the base of the spine on children's first day at school, or on adults' first day in a new job. It is a sign that they don't feel as empowered as usual. And the red indicates primal survival energy. Fear and fight or flight mode. If it was yellow, it might be a lack of personal empowerment creatively or sexually. If the clusters are white, silver or gold, no interpretation is required. They indicate only one thing. And it's awesome news. They will be very bright, star-like blinking and bright, and indicate powerful forces are intervening on the person's behalf. Forces are at work empowering this person and enriching their life. White, silver and gold sparks indicate a spiritual presence. Whatever the term is in your belief system, this person is in the presence of an angel, a guide, a higher being, or a luminous being. Usually the person knows something is occurring, they just aren't sure what. But they know they have a massive amount of positive energy. Points of darkness. Almost the opposite of star clusters. They are smaller and almost as if nothing could possibly exist in the space they take up. Like looking at a black hole, or a complete void. Points of darkness signify an attack to the aura. This may be emotional blocks that relate to trauma and need to be cleared. It may also indicate illness or injury that is not healing as it should. In rare instances, it may reveal the evidence of psychic attack or an energy vampire. Often it points to an unfavorable connection with a person. They can usually name who it is instantly. When you ask them to consider who it is, that needs to be removed from their life. Voids. Larger than points of darkness, the voids are inactive areas with little or no energy. They aren't as deep and empty. They are just lifeless patches. These reveal psychological factors, from mild discouragement, to feelings of hopelessness, depersonalization and detachment. The area they are found will guide your analysis. Regardless of pinpointing the emotion, it is more important you say what you see because they need to be cleared. Over time, if left untreated, they can lead to physical and mental illness. Often acknowledging their existence, and examining why they have formed, is enough to start the energetic cleansing. The vortex. Sometimes also known as the whirlpool. This suggests fractured relationships, fear, insecurity, excessive anxiety, and unresolved conflict. When localized and not moving, it may indicate chronic pain at the place it is seen. Shapes with symmetry. These signal a healthy, harmonious mind, body and spirit. The person is able to accommodate changes happening and views them as opportunities for new learning experiences. Fissures. These are breaks and tears with jagged and irregular edges. Usually gray in color. They originate in the outer layers of the aura as the result of psychic injury, usually in early childhood or past life experiences. They show both physical and emotional abuse, and are often found in people who have experienced physical violence at the hands of a loved one. Tentacles. These extend outwards from the external boundary of the aura, and are associated with immaturity and dependency. They are an energetic reaching out looking for support and instant gratification. The owners tend to be selfish and make unreasonable demands of others. They tend to be self-anointed scholars and overly exaggerate their importance. Tentacles also can be seen in the aura of those who have psychic vampirism tendencies. You can tell the difference by looking at where the tentacles reach out to. If they just reach out and are waving around, you have the immature and the dependent. In the case of psychic vampires, the tentacles can be seen reaching into the aura of those around them, to draw and drain their energy, hence the term vampire. Geometric shapes. Spheres. Spheres indicate positive energy. The color and location offer detail, i.e., a bright yellow sphere in the upper region is associated with energy of intellectual enrichment. A bright green sphere indicates healing is being applied to the area that it is located. Pyramids, psychic or intuitive abilities. Clairvoyants often have a bright pyramid of energy in the upper regions, usually in the central zone directly above the head. Shield. Looks exactly as you think it should. It is a large shield-like patch of intensely bright and opaque energy. It is seen enclosing part of the body, and forms a protective boundary. Usually the person is aware of why they may be shielding certain areas of their body. A shield over the heart indicates heartbreak from a relationship breakup to the loss of a loved one. Similarly, a shield over the crown chakra may be an inability to accept, or a fear of the spiritual. The shield is always formed because of damage and the need for protection. You should always mention the existence of a shield. If the person is unaware a shield has formed, they may remain unaware. And the energy may keep building and cover an entire aura. If this occurs, it becomes a wall and leaves the person unable to connect to their feelings, becoming emotionless and unable to connect or form relationships with others. Shapes in the aura that appear over the chakra areas. Remember to check the chakra areas during your reading, as shapes very often show up in these areas. They are linked to the health of the chakra, or the energy of the chakra. 1. Circular, normal health, this is what you want to see. 2. Oval, there is an imbalance. 3. Square, the chakra is blocked. 4. Triangular, point up, the energies are building and indicates progression and growth or personal development. 5. Triangular, point down, the energies are decreasing and indicates self-limiting thoughts or behaviors. 6. 6 or more sides of equal length. Hexagon, octagon, etc. indicates spiritual growth and the development of spiritual understanding. To find out specifics, look to the functions of the chakra. 7. Silver or golden stars. This shows receiving of angelic messaging. It would be impossible to list all the shapes and variations that you may see in the aura. So we have offered those often seen, and those that if seen need particular attention. As you develop your auric sight, you will see other shapes, and you will intuitively know their meaning. You'll become a bit of a clairvoyant sleuth, using your intuition. And also your knowledge of the meanings of colors. Which zone of the body is it in? Is it waxing or waning? All of this will provide you the answers and meanings of the shapes in the aura. I hope you enjoyed this video. For more details and to gin in-depth insights into the aura, go to www.healthynatured.com.